Hey guys, back again. So, one question I've had a lot of, and rightfully so, is how do we join the two halves of the tub together? So, originally, what I did is I did film it, and for some reason, the most of the footage got corrupted, so I wasn't able to use any of the footage. It was just blank screen. But I'm going to explain to the best I can how we did it, and if there's still questions, I'll make another video up showing everything in detail. So here it goes. Alright guys, you can see where we joined the two halves together. This is the small little area which I'm just showing you. Now the adhesive used here is an aviation grade structural adhesive. So this stuff is unbelievably strong. Like, I can't explain to you how strong it is. We tested it, it's mind-blowingly strong. So we use that to bond the two halves together. So to show you what we did, here's our sample. These are some of the test samples that we made up. This is the thinnest area of the tub, but not here. So this is only 6 layers thick. Around here on this tub, we've got I think 8 layers, and then 8 layers excluding the aramid, or the Kevlar. So this just is just an example. So what we did is we take this core and we took a router and we machined a piece out that is around 20 mil deep, so around there. Okay, then what we had done is we had taken exactly like this. This is a piece from the molding of the two halves together, and this piece, you can see the different layers of carbon in there. This piece is 8 millimeters thick and probably around about 12 layers thick of carbon. And we took it and we actually made a 30 mil piece like this around the inside of the mold, or on the mold, and we popped it out, and then I trimmed it, and we then wedged this piece that has the same curve to this entire piece, this entire tub. And where we had routed the holes, we glued this in on the one side, and we glued in on the other side, and we pushed the two halves together, and then, Bob's your uncle. That's what we did. So this is exactly what's in here. This is in between the two halves, like that. Hopefully that clears some things up. So I'm trying to start the sub-assembly, and what I wanted to do is just give everyone an idea of the complexity of mounting a motorcycle engine. So obviously that's not the right angle. We're probably about 10 mil too low in the front, so that back section would have to, the front section would have to rise up, and the back section would drop down. You can see on the side here we've got a pencil mark. That's pretty much from the back of the tub to the center line of the rear wheels. So that's where the center line would be. So the rear bulkhead or sub-assembly for the differential and the chain drive and everything else will be on the back there. That'll be all machined aluminium. And so basically what we're going to be doing now is creating the steel structure in between that machined aluminium rear section and this section here. And you can see that I've got all the piping ready, and so now we need to start it. But everyone can see that our first big problem here is that we've got a very high sump. I mean, that thing's ridiculous. That pushes up our center of gravity by, jeepers, what? Sure, 40 mil, 50 mil extra than what we need it to be. So this is not going to work, and there's no ways we're going to allow that to be used. So already we've begun our own process of designing our own sump. Sorry. Now if I put that in there, we can immediately get an idea of how much we can drop down there. Now, the purist in me is saying we can get lower, and we can get our center of gravity even lower, and that obviously is better. But it's easier said than done. So this is still a wet sump, and then inside here there's a baffle plate that goes across the section here. There's a slush plate that goes through here, and then obviously the pickup is something that we would design ourselves. So now the problem is that even here, this is still much higher than we'd like it to be. So I'm going to again sorry, just doing this by my ace here. Oh man, you can just see kind of where we would be. Oh man, sorry, easier said than done. So that's kind of where we're going to be. But maybe I should chat to the engineers. Maybe we can make this a little bit lower and get this whole big, I mean, all this weight up here, all the gearboxes, everything. We want to just, boom, pull that down. And another reason I want to pull it down is obviously we're going to design our own airbox. So I'm not worried about the airbox. But if I could drop, I mean, it gives you an indication of where we are with the standard airbox on. You know what? There we go. Guys are going to be watching this thing thinking it's like it's all over the place. So this is closed. There's nothing there, and the air goes through here. But this is actually an aerodynamic element to the car. This is not where the forced induction will go. So this will remain aero straight down the middle, and on the sides through here there will be a raised bubble section. Raised bubble section which would allow the air to go through there. So over here actually is where the air is going to come through into the airbox. And obviously the more we drop this, better of our center of gravity, and also as you can see, the more we drop it, the more space we have to finalize the design for the airbox. So that's all going on now. In the design, we've got 42 millimeters. I don't know why it's 42, but that's what we've got for space from here. Obviously, these are coming out. These recirculation caps will just be capped off. And so it's from there to there is 42 mils. So let's see what we do here. Maybe we can give ourselves a little bit more breathing room. There's obviously going to be heat shielding on here, and the exhausts are up here. So the exhaust will come down. Now, traditionally, on a motorcycle, the exhausts come down and then they kind of flow straight past the sump here. What we're going to be doing is bringing the exhaust down and coming out and all the way over here so that we can create a blown diffuser over the back section of the aero section, the back aero section. So that's what we're busy with now. That's what it looks like. A lot easier said than done, like everything else, but yeah, it's starting to look like a car now. Right, so got it on its side. A little bit of a slapstick kind of quick strip down. So obviously the engine needs to be stripped and then rebuilt. The engine mechanically is sound. It came off a donor bike. And obviously you just need to redo it, which we will do. We'll get around to doing that. But I don't want to go and spend time, money, and effort rebuilding something and we don't have it mechanically ready. And as in, you know, if I have to move water pumps and change the water pumps to create a dry sump setup, then that's what I want to do. But I don't want to refurbish everything and then go and have to do that. So what we're going to do now is just quickly strip this off. And this is done to scale. It's actually 2 millimeter off exactly, just in case we needed the wall thickness to make up for the carbon. That's if we decide to make the sump out of carbon fiber. And I'm going to bolt that on. Make sure it fits, and then I'm going to take it and put it back and see what the height difference is. So we've got an idea where we are. Now I'm going to go back to doing this, take this, put it back, and then see what the difference is. right, so that's where we are now. You can see the opening, and if you look at the one higher bridge there, that is actually where the bodywork begins. So you can actually see the line on the inside here, where the bodywork will actually slide in and then sit just on top of that hoop there. And everyone's going to ask, why is there such a big space? Why just make it part of the tub? Well, we actually wanted more area here for a bigger roll hoop. It gives us more space to work. When you, if we had made the tub up to there, yeah, probably not major difference as far as safety goes. But if the tub was up to there, we only had this small area to try and create these hoops. So we decided to drop it to give us more space to create the hoop, more mounting. Then also the other side of it is once the mount, there's aluminium inserts obviously inside of the carbon fiber. And once now we make those lugs that we will mount in here on each side, you won't see it because the bodywork's going to go over it. So inside here, that mechanically it doesn't make any difference, but from a cosmetic perspective, we're going to have a really cool cover in here going over these mounting, I suppose mounting lugs that we'll make with that chrome moly roll ball. So that's what we're doing there. And so another reason for bringing that up is because the height from that red section there all the way here is what's going to give us the space needed to build an airbox to fit inside here. So that's what we are currently doing now. And you can see the engine has dropped a lot. You can see it from that perspective. We're below the tub here. So the engine will be encapsulated within that confound of the tub shape. And that was very important for us. Yeah, this airbox is going to be challenging. I can tell you right now, this is not going to be fun to make. However, nothing has been easy, so I'm not expecting anything else. If we could drop this sump a little bit more, that would be ideal. But again, it's quite an engineering process just to do something like that. There's a lot of design work that's gone into that. So yeah, I don't know yet. So you just saw these being made. Really nice pieces of kit. And as you can imagine, bloop, we're going to be using them as the inserts to make sure that we are 100% perfectly aligned. And if you look here, so basically how it works is they're just going to press fit into the pipe. Like so. So they'll press fit in there. Obviously, just have to be pushed in. And then we will cut the angle required so that we're able to get in there. And basically what will happen is that from this angle here, sorry, as always doing this one-handed, that will push in through there, and obviously bolt in place. There we go, finally. So that's what it will look like, and that's how it'll work. Some nice piece of kit, make sure everything lines up. So yeah, let's get going.